once again, I'm going to knock out two birds with one stone. First, let's talk about the Predator series as a whole. Now, in my honest opinion, I feel that Predator was pretty much a one and done deal. Now, that's not to say that Predator 2 with Danny Glover wasn't good, because honestly, it's a very underrated sequel. But without the star power of Arnold Schwarzenegger, it's seen as why it didn't do as good as the first one. And then there's 2010's Predators, which was pretty good. 2018's The Predator, the less said about that, the better, because that was a dumpster fire that I want to erase from my memory. And then there's 2022's Prey, a prequel to the Predator films, which is actually pretty good. And of course, I know there's the Aliens versus Predator films that came out, but those two films aren't even canon with this series. But no matter how many Predator films that come out, or anytime somebody thinks about the Predators in general, it's always going to go back to the 1987 classic with Arnold Schwarzenegger. And think about it. Just imagine if only one Predator film was made. Fast forward to now, you'll have a lot of people say, hey, remember back in 1987 when Arnold Schwarzenegger fought an alien from outer space? Huh. That was a very interesting movie. Now, let's get into why I like Predator with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Now, consider at the time when this movie came out. Back in the 1980s, when the box office was dominated by the likes of Arnold and Stallone. Big buff dudes carrying big guns, blowing up bad guys. Yeah, I know there's a lot of B's in that. It's a tongue twister, but bear with me. But think about it. The 1980s, you had these big buff dudes being badasses on the screen. And then along comes Predator. That pretty much says, nah, we're going to do something about that. Let's turn these big buff dudes into victims. And the cool thing about Predator is that it's three movies in one. It's action, it's science fiction, and it's survival horror. And when Predator came out, I remember watching the trailers on TV. And all I knew was, oh, it's a movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger in it. Seems interesting. Then I saw it on VHS. And then I see Outer Space. And I'm going, I thought this was Predator with Arnold Schwarzenegger. I thought it took place in the jungle. Then you see a spaceship come by that shoots another spaceship on the planet Earth. And you go, okay, it's an alien. Let's see how well this goes. And in this film, you have these commandos who are the best of the best. And then they get picked apart by an alien. Now, that's some pretty scary and heavy stuff. But, just like I said in my video short, the reason why the Predator, why that alien species is my favorite movie aliens of all time, because they don't come to Earth to conquer. They don't come to Earth to take over. No, they come to Earth to hunt for sport. And the fact that you have this race of aliens that has integrity and honor, and they follow a code, that's a plus in my book. And like I said, Predator, it really turned the whole action hero, big buff, badass genre upside down on its head. And then, when we get to the end of the film, where Arnold goes one-on-one with the Predator, I ain't gonna lie to you, I thought Arnold was gonna die. I really did. But overall, Predator still remains one of my favorite movies of all time. Now, what does suck, however, is that, yeah, Arnold never came back for the sequel. And plus, I really wish we would have gone in to see how Major Dutch Schaefer handled the encounter with the Predator in the first film. I really wish there were more films that went into his character. In other words, what I'm saying is I really wish Arnold would have came back for more films. Now, I know there's a comic book series that's out there that covers, Major Schaefer dealing with other predators, or Yautjas as they call them, when they come to Earth. Hell, he even gets predator DNA in his blood to actually help fight other predators. And I think that's pretty cool. But overall, Predator is an undisputed 1987 classic. And like I said earlier, anytime you think of the Predator films or the series as a whole, you're always going to go back to the very first film itself. 2 thumbs up. I love it. It's undisputed. I love watching it every time it comes on TV. And what more can I say about it? It has stood the test of time of being a badass classic. Just my thoughts, just my opinion, and as always, just saying.